is ready to go. In his first try in a Cup car on the 1.5 mile Atlanta Motor Speedway. Dale Jr. back behind the wheel and ready to get at it. And the newly minted champion of the Daytona 500, Kurt Busch, rolls out because this is Monster Energy NASCAR Cup practice on FS1. Hampton, Georgia, about 20 minutes south of the Atlanta airport. All by 75 and US 19 and 41, where it's 55 degrees. All the trees are in bloom, confused by an odd warm winter. Winds out of the northwest at 19. A beautiful day to go drive on 60 grit sandpaper.
That's what it's going to feel like, I can assure you that. All I hear from everybody, Jeff's been in the garage, Larry's in the garage now, tires, tires, tires. I mean, I thought we'd be talking about that little bitty rear spoiler, and downforce.
Oh, we're going to be talking about that.
All I hear about is all my tires are wearing out in 10 laps.
Well, let's talk about downforce, or should we say the lack of same?
Yeah, lack of is the real thing we're going to be talking about. Daytona was exciting. It was fun, but we were talking about drafting the restrictor plates. That's all gone now. Now it's all about downforce. It's all about corner speeds. And what we're going to see, as you mentioned, DW, with a lack of downforce because that smaller spoiler, these drivers are going to be sliding sideways.
Well, this pavement is 20 years old. It's like your driveway in dog years. You know, one for every 7. They're going to repave it after this race. So this is the last chance to slip and slide around the old Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, down in the garage today, prowling the pavement, is Larry McReynolds.
Oh, you know I'm in my happy place now, and there's no question the drinking word or phrase of the weekend is going to be grip, or I'm looking for grip. You mentioned it, a racetrack that has no grip whatsoever. A soft Goodyear tire that's going to have a lot of give up. But Jeff and DW, you were talking about it. It has to do with this low downforce package we're going to start racing here in Atlanta. Look at this spoiler, only 2 3/8 inches tall, plus the front splinter's much smaller, so about 400 to 500 pounds of less downforce. To me, Matt, this is taking a step back in the future.
Larry, the places you'll go, there's fun to be done. No author, I think, sums up racing in Atlanta better than my daughter's favorite author, Dr. Seuss, because the fun factor is from the bottom all the way to the top and in between, and I think no team hit on that low downforce package better last year at Michigan and Kentucky than Team Penske. Both Keselowski and Logano won a race, and it seems like when there's a rules change, nobody hits on it quicker than Team Penske, but neither Keselowski nor Logano have won here in Atlanta, so it'll be interesting to see if they can hit on it, put a check mark next to that on Sunday. Mike?
You can Google Theodore Geisel, Mulberry Street, Springfield, Mass. He was Dr. Seuss.
Well, you got one in there, brother. Good job.
There we are, riding with 5-time Atlanta winner Jimmy Johnson. Look at the movement in that car just as he heads down into turn 1.
On the bottom. I haven't seen a spoiler that small on one of these cars since maybe back in the 60s.
Well, I was looking at the downforce numbers, and I think you've got to go back to late 90s, maybe 2000, 2001, when we had this little downforce on the cars. So this is a significant change to these teams and drivers.
All right, but how does that present to the driver?
Yeah, so now you start thinking about abrasiveness. Now you go inside
Right here.
and you watch. It's the hand movement. That's what it's going. These cars, as they gain more and more downforce. A few years ago, we had about 3,000 pounds of downforce. Now we're looking around 1,500 pounds. And what does that mean? Just grip, just like Larry Mack was talking about. So when the car has a lot of grip, you can just feed the wheel nice and easy. Car drives right to the bottom wherever you want. Now you're going to see a lot more hand movement like that. A.J. Allmendinger, where the car's really going to step out. The rear tires are going to go away fast, and these drivers are going to be sliding around there. Don't forget, we're talking about entry speeds, 180 miles, 185 miles per hour, and you're turning back to the right.
They look a little nervous to me.
Very.
They shaking on that wheel. I mean, that just tells you there's a lot of movement in the rear of the car when you see them fighting that wheel like that.
We're riding along with Dale Earnhardt Jr. You can already hear the throttle input, a lot less throttle input than what we've heard in the past. Here he goes into the corner, shows to run the middle lane and then come down across that seam. but you can hear how late he picked up the throttle, DW, and how early he lifted going into the corner.
Yeah, that's the difference. How long you're out of the throttle, that distance when you get out, getting in the corner, and how long it takes you before you get back in the gas. You're just waiting for that car to settle into the track and get a little grip so you can go.
So from the mid-150s in the middle of the corner to 190 plus at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, we got to get it a lot more front grip. We're way down.
And that brings up something really important. You know, we've talked about the lack of downforce, but we got to talk about the balance front to rear. These teams really don't know what this combination is going to work like on this type of racetrack. You heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. say, well, we got to get a lot more front grip. So they've got to either try to figure out how to shift some downforce to the front or just get more mechanical grip with the front tires.
Yeah, and when we talk about balance, Mike, just cut the car in half. Just cut the car in two, and you want the same amount on the front half as you have on the rear half. That's a well-balanced race car. You get that off. Now, when you go into the corner, if you don't have a lot of front downforce, it's what we call flies the nose. So you drive to the corner at 190 mile an hour, you turn a wheel, nothing happens until the car settles into the racetrack. Then you come off, you don't have enough rear, and you're a little loosey-goosey off. So loose in, tight off, that's what you fight.
Matt Kenseth, Ricky Stenhouse, Ty Dillon. Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, fastest.